your phone and a basic mic or headphones like this could be the most impactful personal development tool you've ever utilized. If you just set up your phone like this, landscape, record, your speaking will improve, your thoughts and distilling ideas will improve, your delivery will improve, your charisma will improve, you'll be a better communicator, you'll have better relationships, you'll probably get a raise, you'll build things, you'll create things. It's incredible. It's incredible how, it's even like therapy too. Like you'll work through your own internal things. It's incredible. So I've been challenging everybody. If you have anything that you're interested in and you want to talk about, and especially if you're in business or you want to be a coach or whatever, you should be recording a video day on your phone. It's literally as simple as that. Okay, so today's video though is a post that I did the other day. It's basically about this quote that I'm gonna expand on. The masses of men lead lives of quiet desperation, right? Of course, men and women, it wasn't a PC time. The masses of men and women lead lives of quiet desperation. Let's look at this for a second, okay? So this is true today as it's ever been. And he said this in like 1800s. Most people live lives of quiet desperation. Well, let's just look at the sickness end of the spectrum, because obviously a life of quiet desperation isn't necessarily about health, but a lot of people that struggle with their health, they struggle with living a life of quiet desperation, right? Because they're basically doing what everyone else is doing, and they're falling into groupthink, monkey see, monkey do, etc. So it's all connected, right? Here's some facts about America right now. 40 to 50% obesity rate. 2/3 of Americans are overweight or obese. 2/3, the majority of Americans are overweight or obese. It's no wonder that everyone's so afraid of the boogie virus. Average savings rate in this country, 7.6%. Now that has actually gone up since 2009, but in 2009 when the financial crisis hit, it was like 3.4% or something. I guarantee you debt's gone up since then, so this isn't exactly an inaccurate reflection of finances or whatever. So average household debt, now keep in mind this includes mortgages, so whatever, $145,000 for a family. Average individual debt, $38,000. So that's removing the mortgage, and that's usually car payment. That's a big one, and then credit card debt, consumer debt, maybe even student loan debt. I don't even know if that's included there or not, to be honest. Here's a couple other facts about society. Happiness rate has been declining for years. Suicide rates are on the rise. Depression's on the rise. And something I just learned the other day, the number one accidental death, well, aside from medical error, which I won't talk about that right now, which is like a couple 100,000 people a year just for medical error. The number one accidental death, it was car accidents, obviously, right? It has now become drug overdoses. And that obviously coincides with the happiness, the depression, and the suicide rate, right? These things are all very connected. People struggle with a lot of these things, tend to struggle with multiple of them. So if the masses lead lives of quiet desperation, most people are overweight, most people are unhappy, potentially borderline suicide, borderline depressed, on pharmaceuticals. I don't know the numbers for pharmaceuticals. I didn't research that yet, but I guarantee you pharmaceuticals have been on the rise. If you follow society, is this what you want for your life? Is any of this stuff what you want for your life? Or even just a list. Some of these things, maybe you're debt-free, but you're overweight or depressed or whatever, right? And, every single thing that you do that is based on what society has deemed you should do, that is based on what your parents did, your spouses, your friends, your cousins, whatever, everything that you do that's the same as them is likely to fall in this realm of sick society, of a life of quiet desperation. Every single line item in your life, every single thing, you have to ask yourself, am I doing what society has set for me, that I was just indoctrinated to do, that I was just raised to do? Or have I thought about it critically, weighed the pros and cons, and then thought about it for myself? If you did this exercise and you really listed these off, health, finances, job pursuit, profession, all these different things that are mostly just based on things that have been going on in society. And if you look at what's going on with the internet and rapid change in technology, a lot of these things are archaic, are outdated. And because the organizations in the status quo is always slow and resistant to change, it's only a small percent of people that are actually taking advantage of these new opportunities like the internet, etc. And that's why at the beginning of the video, just getting on your camera and talking could lead you to places you have no idea. And you don't have to post these videos. Maybe you do, you should. You put it on YouTube, whatever. Create your own little channel about whatever you want. But it's for personal development. It's just doing it. It's to fight inertia. right? I almost didn't come up here to do this. I'm at a friend's house and I was like, well, you know what? I'll get my 2 videos in. But I almost didn't do it because it's always easier to not do it. So if you map out these things that you do in your life and the results you have and where you want to be and where you are, you'll blow your mind with some of the things that you haven't even considered that you're probably just doing because of your environment. And then you have awareness to that thing. You shine a spotlight on it and you can create a plan for it. And that's how you actually change behavior and get different results in life. The CTA for today, the call to action, the idea to leave this video with is perform that exercise. You can keep it simple. Maybe just do health and finances or whatever, right? But you should also do like how you think, your relationships, you know, raising your kids, everything. Map it out, a few things, but like how you would rate it, a 5 or 10, a 1 or 10, a 9 or 10, etc. And then kind of think about it like, am I just doing this because other people do it? Like, have I thought about this? Have I read books on this? Have I done my own research on this? And honestly, for most people, at least for some categories, maybe for you it's 1 or 2, maybe for you it's all of them. Most people have no idea why they do the things they do. It's just a byproduct of their upbringing and they do it. And then they wonder, I don't know, maybe they should wonder why they keep getting the same results as this sick society, right? If you don't want to live a life of quiet desperation, right? And if you don't want to basically be a debt slave and be overweight and be a pharma slave or accidentally die because you overdose on prescription drugs that you should be taking in the first place. If you don't want any of that, you have to create a plan for every single thing in your life. And I promise you this, it's quite likely to be the exact opposite of what society does, right? As Mark Twain said, whenever I find myself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. I'll see you in the next one.